Hi, welcome to On the Block, where we explore the latest news in finance and technology. Today, we're taking a closer look at the proposal from the governor of the Banque de France.
In a written speech, he pointed out the gap between Europe's need for financial modernization and the slow progress in actually making it happen. At the core of his proposal is the idea of a European unified ledger, built on distributed ledger technology.
Let's break down this concept and see how it might, if implemented, impact Europe's financial landscape. The governor's proposal is centered around the creation of European Ledger, a shared digital platform using DLT to make financial transactions more efficient across European countries. If you haven't heard of DLT before, think of it as the backbone technology behind blockchain.
The idea here is to improve the efficiency of cross-border transactions and better utilize Europe's private savings, particularly to fund important projects like green and digital transformations. Two key priorities for the EU right now. This European ledger would also support the tokenization of real-world assets, such as commercial bank money and financial instruments. This could help integrate Europe's capital markets more closely. Now let's dive into why DLT is necessary for creating the European ledger.
First, the current system for cross-border transactions in Europe is slow and expensive. It involves multiple banks and intermediaries, each with their own systems, which means every transaction has to be verified and reconciled by each party. This creates delays and increases costs. DLT solves this problem by giving all participants access to the same shared ledger in real time, allowing for faster, more streamlined verification.
Second, DLT is essential for tokenization, the process of converting real-world assets like money or securities into digital tokens. These tokens can be traded and settled instantly on the ledger. DLT ensures these tokens move smoothly and securely across borders without the friction of different financial systems using separate technologies. If you'd like to learn more about tokenizing real-world assets, we've got a video on that topic. Just click the link in the upper right corner. Finally, DLT is crucial for integrating potential digital currencies like a digital euro or other tokenized forms of commercial and central bank money into the European ledger. You might ask, what kind of DLT would we need to make this happen?
One possible technology for this could be a permissioned blockchain like Hyperledger Fabric. At Espo Software, we've worked with Fabric in various industries, including finance and accounting, to create custom blockchain networks that prioritize privacy and scalability. We'll link some case studies in the description below if you would like to learn more.
We would like to point out that the Banque de France is already exploring how DLT can improve financial markets through its DL3S platform. DL3S stands for Distributed Ledger for Securities Settlement System. Essentially, it's a platform that uses DLT to settle financial transactions, particularly in the wholesale market, like large-scale payments and securities trading between banks.
Banque de France has already run several experiments with DL3S. For example, they worked with the Italian Banking Association and JP Morgan SE to successfully settle tokenized payments across different DLT platforms. These tests show that it's possible for different systems to work together, which is an important step towards creating something like the European Ledger.
Another interesting project connected to the European Ledger is Project Agora, which focuses on improving cross-border payments. Traditionally, cross-border payments use a system called correspondent banking, where several banks act as intermediaries to move funds from one country to another. This system is slow, expensive, and often inefficient.
Agora's goal is to replace these intermediaries by creating a unified ledger. Instead of sending payment instructions through one system and moving the actual money separately, Agora uses DLT to make sure payment instructions and settlements happen at the same time on a single platform. This is called atomic settlement, where the transfer of funds and assets happens simultaneously, cutting out delays and reducing costs. Now, this idea of a unified ledger isn't just limited to Europe. The Bank of International Settlements, BIS, is working on a similar concept but with a global outlook.
Rather than building a single centralized ledger, the BIS envisions a network of interconnected ledgers across different jurisdictions. This approach would allow smoother interaction between financial systems in different countries and could help reduce the complexity and costs currently seen in global markets, where multiple intermediaries and manual processes still dominate.
Looking at the global financial landscape, another key player in this space is SWIFT, or the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. SWIFT is a member-owned cooperative that enables secure and standardized financial transactions between banks, even when they operate with different financial systems. SWIFT has identified tokenization as one of the 4 major innovations shaping the future of finance. However, they emphasize that for tokenization to work efficiently within a shared ledger system, it needs more than just blockchain technology.
It requires a robust messaging layer to handle additional data like compliance, sanctions screening, and anti-money laundering checks. A robust messaging layer is necessary to exchange detailed, structured data about transactions. Although 89% of cross-border payments reach recipient banks within an hour today, shared ledgers are not suited for high data volumes due to synchronization and computing demands. A messaging layer bridges this gap by transferring data between institutions, supporting both transaction settlements and additional ancillary services.
For example, SWIFT's adoption of ISO 20022, a global standard for financial messaging, has proven beneficial by providing rich, structured data for transactions. This structured messaging layer can complement shared ledgers by supporting both transaction settlement and the necessary ancillary services that make financial systems compliant and secure. What's your take on the proposal? Do you think it could help modernize Europe's financial infrastructure, or do you think there are too many hurdles for this to happen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Be sure to check out our other videos on tokenization and blockchain technology. We'll continue exploring the world of tokenization, so do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to stay updated on our future videos. Until next time, this is Dominik.
And this is Przemysław, reminding you to stay on the block to stay ahead.